Oh, they really pump it up in here. All right, welcome back, folks, as we open up second period play. Shouting it out loud. And so Townsend unassisted. And now Greenwich tilting the ice. Here's a shot. And that one's held on to. And the energy level is up, up, up here. Early second period action as we do. A tribute to retired NHL commentator Doc Emmerich when we say welcome to the second period, the period of the long change, as the goaltenders trade nets, putting them and the defensive zones they guard on the opposite end of the ice from their benches. This makes defensive on-the-fly substitutions difficult. Key takeaway in this period, get out of the defensive zone, into the offensive zone early and often. Apply pressure to the opposing defense. Try to fatigue them, find them flat-footed, out of position, perhaps pulling penalties, but most of all, you want to get shots on net and pucks in the bucket. Early second period action, speaking of shots on net, 6-4, Plymouth leading that category. And in the pucks in the bucket department, Plymouth up 2-0. As this is played out to neutral ice. And it looks like we've got a Greenwich penalty and Plymouth with an opportunity to ratchet up the pressure. Luckenbach with a second visit to the penalty box. Greenwich can ill afford to lose Luckenbach from service, even if only for a minute, as this is played out across neutral ice. And so Luckenbach for tripping. Now Greenwich has to be careful in their zeal to get into the offensive zone, as they pressed the last time when they were skating shorthanded, pressed into the offensive zone and forgot that they are a skater down on the backside. The further you go into the offensive attack, the more players that you carry into the offensive attack, the more susceptible you are to a breakout and breakaway. You got to be careful. Measure your assertiveness carefully. You typically want to have your 2-point players still available up at the blue line. If your two attackers feel that they want to go deeply into the offensive zone, that's okay. At least you have a little bit of support. Here's a shot on net as this one is held on to. And a big kudos from the Plymouth group as King gives a little bit of support and communications. Big ups. 2 seconds left on Luckenbach's penalty, and Luckenbach will ease his way out across towards the bench, collects the loose puck. This is played up to neutral ice. Played out to center ice. This is Luckenbach once again out on the ice. We mentioned that Luckenbach was one of the top 5 points getters for Greenwich. You don't want to see him off the ice. And of course, there will be times that the young skater will be on the bench after a shift is complete. As this is played, long shot down the slot to the back of the net. And Orem could not see that one coming through, as that was sent down. Looking for how that was coordinated. Officials checking on who's attached to the point, as that one was a bending wrister, long range. And we'll get the full announcement in a moment. Checking back in on the chat board. Go ahead and tell me where you're watching from, which team, which players. So Townsend from Connolly. And right there is a dangerous line. And Plymouth now up 3-0. 3.5 minutes into this second period. We did mention the long change period as being tough for on-the-fly defensive substitutions. It also happens to be a period where a team that goes into the period with a lead and that dominates in the first often has an opportunity to turn this into a back-breaking period where you can really pour on the pressure. Now, Greenwich came out strong early in the period, and it looked like they were trying to use this period as a table-turning period, and it does have that potential. So long as you pull yourself together, start out well composed, get early in on the attack. And Greenwich started out that way. As this is played out to the back door, and Greenwich puts one on the board. Beautiful coordination there. 12-10 Express right there, as Barth comes up with the goal. And Boswell feeding him. And so Greenwich revived a bit here as they put one on the board. So confirmed Barth from Boswell. Just inside of 7 minutes remaining second period action. As we set up a face-off in the Plymouth zone. Schofi out on the angle. Popular goaltender right there. The team and the fans love Schofi. And that was a close call for Orem. Take a look across the bench as we see Greenwich carries two goaltenders. Both are suited up. As we see a stick check that throws the stick out of the hands of Luckenbach. Luckenbach is going to skate off and let a sticked skater come on. As this is played out to neutral ice, and Greenwich in transition now. Working through the middle as Francois unable to grab that one. This is sent down low. Greenwich looking a bit more feisty as Robertson looks to take possession. Played out to the far side half wall. Centering pass, that's sent away by Langille. Back into the face-off circle. And I'll tell you what, we've got the Plymouth crowd right down below me here, and they have been loud all game long. And can you blame them as Robertson works around the defense, diving out in front. Orem comes up with a stop and incidentally covers up the puck and gains the whistle. Orem with an aggressive play in net. Oh, look at that. Good gold medal morning to the Whipples. As we've seen the Whipple family in back-to-back weekends. Picked up a Whipple triple last week as this is played into the middle by Barth. Played into the slot. Barth with a turnaround, trying to force it back down the slot. And now Sullivan racing up ahead, chased by Morrissey. Played around the corner, out to the half wall. And Sullivan sends it out into the middle as we see Tressel get a shot off. Speaking of shots, Plymouth 10, Greenwich 6. And so we've got a couple of Whaler fans out there. Best cheese pizza in Weymouth. How about it, Joanne? Best cheese pizza in Weymouth. As this plays out to the far side wall. And now Sullivan carries in on the right wing side. That one is broken up, played out to neutral ice. And just a little bit too soon sending it in as Tressel was coming back for the tag up. 3:58 remaining, second period action in a 2-goal game. Plymouth really was leaning on Greenwich, putting the pressure on as they had a 3-0 lead in the second. And on the backhand, from the rebound, that shut down Orem, still scrambling back up on the skates. Played out to the top of the slot, and this one is let by. An unforced error there by Greenwich, and these are the ones you want to take advantage of. Part of the psychology of a game is when an opponent makes an error, if you can capitalize on it, apply pressure, it can cause them to second guess themselves. Of course, this is why players are coached to have short-term memory. That goes for good stuff and bad stuff. But particularly when something goes wrong, if you make a mistake, you want to just press forward. And this one is ticked on the way down, and Plymouth picks up goal number 4. A wrister, as that one sounded like it made contact with one of the Greenwich sticks down below, deflected into the net. As a goaltender, I would be frustrated with a defender trying to bat a puck out of the way, unless that defender, more often than not, is very accurate. So Townsend from Connolly, and that's Townsend's 3rd goal. But again, I'd prefer to see a puck coming through directly so that I can play it without any change of direction. And so unless I have a teammate that 99 times out of 100 can bunt that puck away, I prefer that they not swat at it, because even just the slightest change in direction causes me to have to focus all over again. And even in that 1/10 of a second or less, that shift is just enough for that puck to make it to the back of the net. Alumni Pizza. All right. Shout out to the pizza nominee, as this is played across neutral ice, deflected on its way down. That'll be eased away by Orem with 95 seconds remaining, second period action. Plymouth back out to a 3-goal lead. This is played in through the face-off circle. Sent down into the corner. Plymouth on the attack once again. Just about a minute left in this second period. And now Greenwich with an opportunity, had one open on the weak side. And a tough break there, as Greenwich had a left winger sitting on the weak side of the play looking for a breakout pass. This is sent down on net. That's going to go just wide. And this can be a little frustrating, as we see Habul out on the ice, was on the weak side of the play. Of course, this is a chancy thing to do. Take your defensive effort away from the play with confidence that one of your players will find you on the breakout. But right now, anything that can help tilt the ice for Greenwich will work, as Plymouth gets a bouncer to go by. Robertson gets that past Orem. Greenwich having to rush substitutes in and players out to avoid the too many skaters on the ice penalty. Now, we were mentioning Habul kind of what we call leaking out of the zone. And I'll hold that thought for a moment. So Robertson from Sullivan, and now another opportunity, as this one's shut down by Orem. Down to 6.6 seconds remaining. So we're talking about leaking out of the zone, or drawing out of the defensive set to get ready for the transition. That's got to be something communicated on the ice. If your players don't know that that's what you're intending to do, you start drifting into the weak side of the play. That means away from where the play is happening, trying to get your teammates to notice that you are ready to have a pass thrown across the ice to set up a breakaway. If they don't know that's your intention, they will not anticipate throwing the puck out in that direction. And all that takes is throwing to a zone area. You don't have to throw directly to the player. You just throw it out in front of them, let them chase it. Their speed will help with the breakaway. But again, that's something you got to communicate. And when you're down at the rate that Greenwich is down, you want to have all hands on deck in the defensive set. Of course, a couple of goals ago, maybe leaking out might be good as long as it's communicated in advance. Well, that closes out second period play. Plymouth continues to tilt the ice to their advantage. We'll take a quick break, step outside, rotate the tires. When we come back, we'll tell you why you don't store the topiaries in the linen closet. From alongside the 1980 rink in Lake Placid, New York, you're watching Can-Am Hockey Gold Medal Sunday, Grenoble 10U, Plymouth Whalers, Greenwich Skating Club on Olympic Center TV. We'll be right back.